Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny, and well, as you can see, this is a special announcement video, and well, starting Sundays, starting next month, so in March, Sundays on this channel are going to be known as Biker Bytes Sunday. Now, Biker Bytes, what is it? Biker Bytes is a website that has stories. And in the stories, it basically shows not to fear a group of people who I honestly do hold near and dear to my heart. The biker community. So, a little known fact about me. Some people know this, some people don't. I am a bike head. Have been for a long time. I love the motorcycle culture. To this day, if I'm walking and I see a biker, and they're on a Harley, they're on an Indian, they're on a Honda, I'll give them the salute. I'll literally stand there and I'll go, I've even said, one of the few things I'd love to do, I come into money, is I want to get, for me, I can't ride a traditional bike, but I want to get a trike, and as I've said in a previous video, I know I've said it, a trike, not a T-Rex. Where I want the two wheels in the back, one wheel in the front. Not two wheels in the front, one wheel in the back. I think the T-Rexes are stupid. Just like, honestly, I think those slingshot cars are stupid. Not as stupid as Cybertrucks, but very close. They're kind of, to me, in the same category. But I digress. But anyway, I love the biker culture. Honestly, like I've even said, but besides the traditional, Undertaker gimmicks for professional wrestling, to kind of go into that for a second and tie that in, I've always said, Dead Man Inc. with the Undertaker, when he would come out on the bike, the jeans and the tank tops and stuff like that, Kid Rock, American Badass, Limp Bizkit, Rollin', but he would come out on the bike and he would stop and he would always go, that to me is like some of my favorite eras of Taker, because it brought out the bike culture. And Taker he's a bike head. He admits it. Those bikes were his bikes. And, it also, the biker culture ties me to my dad. Growing up, Dad always used to tell me, he used to have a Honda. A Honda. He never told me what style Honda bike, but he had a Honda bike. And he used to tell me stories. He was given an honorary membership into one of the motorcycle clubs here in New Jersey. And yes, clubs, not gangs. It's the same thing like being a juggalo. We're a family, not a gang. A good majority of your bikers are in clubs, not gangs. Just because they wear their cuts and they have their club colors does not make them gangs. And that's what these stories are going to show. There's a theme and there's a line in a good majority of these stories. And I'm going to say the two of them. One is, angels don't often have wings and halos. A lot of times they wear leather and ride on chrome. Another one is kind of the same idea. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear leather, have beards down to their chest, tattooed arms, and they ride chrome. And that's what I want to show. You know, that bikers, the biker culture, you know, just because you see a guy who's got tattoos all down his arms, maybe even on his knuckles, you know, stuff like that. Maybe he has a beard down to his chest, you know, rides a Harley, wears a cut, you know, which, by the way, if you don't know, a cut is the leather vest that clubs wear that you earn. You know, due to certain circumstances, there's one group that I wish I could join, but I don't meet the qualifications for them, and that's a club by the name of BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse. Unfortunately, I have a record. I've stated it on here before. I was imprisoned. You know, I do have a criminal record. And because of that, I unfortunately cannot be a member of BACA. But I will still support BACA for what they do. I may never get a BACA patch. But, you know, BACA is one of those clubs that will always have a spot with me, no matter what, because of what they do. You know, for anybody who wants to know who BACA is, I will put a link to their site in the description. But yeah, so these are going to be stories, inspirational stories, some very sad. I've read so many of them, and they bring tears to my eyes, you know. And I've picked a bunch for you guys. But so every Sunday, it's going to be Biker Bytes Sunday. And in Biker Bytes Sunday, you know, I like I said, I want everybody to see. When you see a biker, you don't automatically assume they're a criminal just because of the way they look. The old saying, don't judge a book by their cover. And it's true. I've known a couple of bikers. Some of the best guys I've ever known. You know. And I hope to one day join their ranks. And if this is one way I can do it by spreading the word, that, like I said, not all bikers are bad. You know, yes, you know, it's the old saying, you know, for every 10 good bikers, you're going to have 1 to 2 bad bikers. That's in everything. That's in every culture. You know. But let's celebrate bikers, and that's kind of what I want to do. Now, something you might be asking, well, why Sundays? The Bible states, and now mind you, I don't consider myself a Christian. You know, I'm spiritual. You know, I mean, I wear a, who is this again? I think St. Michael's pendant around my neck, but I don't consider myself Christian. I'm spiritual. You know, I've read the Bible. I've read the Torah. I've read the Quran. You know, I've practiced Wicca. And, you know, something I didn't say in her video, my friend, you know, which is coming out soon, you know, I talk about my friend Paige, Phoebe. She's a Satanist. I don't care. You know, she's a great person. That's where it comes. Don't judge a book by their cover. That's what I want to show with this, with Biker Bytes Sunday. And why not, at least for Christians, you know, one of the what's supposed to be our Sabbath. Well, their Sabbath. Sunday. You know, it states in the Bible, when God created earth, on the seventh day God rested. Why not on the seventh day while he rested, he hears about those who do his work? The bikers. And, you know, like I said, I want to shine a good light on this community. And this is how I'm going to do it. One story at a time. So yeah, Sundays, starting next month, starting March, Biker Bytes Sunday. I hope you all will tune in. I hope you all will listen. It's basically just going to be me reading the story. You know? But yeah. Let's give these guys who deserve it what they need. The recognition they deserve. And, you know, that's it for this video, for this special announcement. And yeah, like I said, stay tuned. The biker community is coming on this channel. I love you all. Love yourself. I'll see you soon.